Be honest. 저기 거울 속에 네 모습 맞지? 한껏 주눅이 든 어린애까지 이제 어깨 펴고 love yourself baby. Be honest. 네 가치를 잘 모르는 시선들은 털어내버려 널 누구보다 잘 알지. 수많은 그 생각에 되려 넌 속도가 좀 느릴 뿐. 네 잘못이 아니야 sorry. No more apologies. 움츠려들지 마 좀 더 당당히. 이제부터야 be happy. No more gloomy days. 달려오는 걸 눈부신 날이. You don't apologize. 널 남들의 기준에 가두려 하지 마. 무리한 말들에 먼저 go away. 너는 반드시 be happy. No more gloomy days. 이미 반짝여 너의 세상이. 넌 소중해. 이 드넓은 우주에 딱 유일한 넌데 왜 어둠 속에 널 밀어두니. 다 괜찮다고 다정히 말해 And love yourself. 네 가치를 잘 모르는 시선들은 털어내버려 널 누구보다 잘 알지. 수많은 그 생각에 되려 넌 속도가 좀 느릴 뿐. 네 잘못이 아니야 sorry. No more apologies. 움츠려들지 마 좀 더 당당히. 이제부터야 be happy. No more gloomy days. 달려오는 걸 눈부신 날이. You don't apologize. 널 남들의 기준에 가두려 하지 마. 무리한 말들에 먼저 go away. 너는 반드시 be happy. No more gloomy days. 이미 반짝여 너의 세상이. No more gloomy days. No more gloomy days. No. No more gloomy days. No more gloomy days. No. 네 잘못이 아니야 sorry. No more apologies. 하찮은 말들에 흔들리지 마. 이제 시작이야 be happy. No more gloomy days. 달려오는 걸 빛나는 날이. You don't apologize. 저 불편한 기준에 맞추려 하지 마. 무리한 말들에 먼저 go away. 너는 반드시 be happy. No more gloomy days. 이미 반짝여 너의 세상이.
Good evening and welcome back to my dwarven fortress of Keskalokil, where the rate of goblin invasions is exceeding my ability to clean up their bodies. It's also, to be fair, slowly depleting my military, especially since last time the goblins found a bridge that I'd constructed for the purposes of disposing of dead goblins, that they could cross rather than foolishly leaping across the river as they prefer to do. So yes, we're going to have to do something about that, which the main thing I want to do, the reason I made it a bridge, is to arrange that we can retract the bridge when we don't want the goblins crossing it. I just hadn't actually built that mechanism, the lever to operate that. I built the lever now, haven't connected it yet. It's that one. To allow, I hadn't actually built that before the bridge, before the goblins arrived. I've just noticed we do have a dwarf in the river here, but they can swim, so it should be fine. They're apparently healthy despite some quite exciting flickering going on here. I presume that's... Are they like... Do they have some permanent injury or something? Yes, okay. That doesn't look healthy to me. Her head is torn open, her right cheek is cut open, her neck is torn open, her right upper leg is fractured. Her right hip is mangled beyond recognition and her left elbow is mangled beyond recognition. That sounds like quite badly injured to me. Possibly just no one's diagnosed the injury yet. So yes, what I should do now is to connect up that lever to that bridge. And name it. So that then next time, like assuming I can figure the bridge vaguely sensibly, we can like retract that bridge rather than having all the goblins cross it and cause trouble, including dead dwarves. Anyway, so now my dwarves have an enormous pile of rubbish disposal and burial jobs pending again. So we still have this problem that this water wheel isn't getting built, and I don't really understand that. I kind of wonder if my best bet might just be to keep going upwards and stick a windmill on the top anyway. So now I'm a bit... Let's stick another mechanism in there, and then we'll work out how we make a platform above that. So what's going on with the construction of that track? It is nominally pending. Okay. So one slight problem is that we now have an enormous quantity of dead goblin bits here as well. Which is probably going to need to get transported over to this stockpile since this one's basically full. What are all those capital C's? Oh right, they're giant cardinal corpses, I see. Being rotten, they are not really of any value. That one's not yet rotten. Then at some point we need to work out how to deal with like the goblinite, all their armour and weapons and stuff. I'm going to assume that, oh yes, that raven wings still have a bunch of stuff that needs to be dumped. That crab shells really made of chitin? It's interesting.
I think what else is made of?
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm assuming individual raven wings are not butcherable. Neither dog teeth.
Yes, it
Right, okay. My informants tell me that crab shells are indeed made of chitin. Meanwhile, the mining of stuff. Kaolinite. Sorry, I'm not going to be very good at words today. I've spent slightly too much of it digging mud off the drive. Well, not mud because it was fairly dry, but still.
So are you mostly clearing up after the last goblin invasion or something?
After the last 3 goblin invasions.
Ah.
But this involves constructing railways and things in order to make the cleanup adequately efficient. So
accidentally discovered following Wikipedia links from crab shells. There's a family called the porcelain crabs. Clearly would do well here.
So we can see here this minecart is now having just been taken up and emptied, is being brought back to be refilled. So that mechanism works. That mechanism in a organisational sense works okay. We have quite a lot of unhappy dwarves, but they often are after a goblin invasion, so we won't worry about them just yet. Goblin siege officially. So I think now, if we have enough wood, we could start actually building the rest of this railway, because that all appears to have sorted itself out adequately. I don't know how far we can ask for it. Can we just do that? We need 37 logs. That looks all right. Just check that I'm not going too far. Really not. We have to go quite a lot further than that. I think we probably should tag a couple more trees for felling then. Unfortunately, some of the trees around here are now part of the railway, so...
What?
Well, we've arranged that it's necessary for the minecarts to bounce off them in order to be able to go around certain corners. Not that that railway is in service yet, but one day. So then if we wanted to make a platform above this for putting a windmill on, I think if we make a staircase there, that will probably serve us well. So, kind of tempted to like bulk forbid an awful lot of stuff to try to stop the dwarves trying to tidy it up until we have. No, but that area is going to be a pain anyway. I suppose we could have a stop on the railway here where we try to collect things as well, which would then allow us to collect from a stockpile here, which would be a kind of temporary goblin parts stockpile.
Temporary goblin parts. Is that like milk teeth?
Maybe.
I mean, a temporary stockpile for bodies is usually called a morgue.
Yes. So we do that, and then we mark it as don't take from anywhere. And that will cause things not to be moved out of it. Until such time as we're actually ready to do something with them.
They've included the brightness and your perception of dimmed time.
So we can, I think, now install a roller there. Heading north at maximum speed. No access. God, what are the rules for building rollers then? Why can I not build a roller there? Like, we've got a gear assembly next to it. We can trivially get to it. Let's gratuitously build some floor adjacent to it in the hope that that will make it accessible, though I'm not quite certain. How's the refill of the mist generator going? All right, but it's not full yet, so let's leave that active. Mostly I'm kind of going, hello dwarves, would you mind doing a thing? What are they all actually doing? Like, yeah, there is a lot of like tedious try to get everything back into places where they should, like animals back to where they should be, and the continued soap production, though possibly we don't need that still. Okay, and they are also dealing with like the more immediate requirements of trying to use one with a strange mood. No. Trying to heal the dwarves injured in this recent conflict. We can see that most of the beds in the hospital are currently occupied. You do seem to have suffered rather.
Was that person lying in bed for 10 years before being diagnosed?
No, I suspect that they left of their own accord and came back 10 years later, and like got sorted out and given a crutch, and then came back somewhat later again and got sorted out again, and now they're back again. And yes, are being healed for a severalth time. That doesn't actually look very severely injured. Who's here? You appear to be seriously injured. You're a cat, so we can't really do much about it. And then there's 3 more over here.
Get him under your feet and meow a lot. Because, you know, that's helpful.
So you appear to be at your second visit to the hospital in a few months. Slightly worried that the ones that the dwarves over here are thirsty. Because that makes me think. That makes me worry a little that they may not be being properly provided for. Maybe we need more orderlies who can bring water and food to. That's a mess. Though, like, everything's. The nice thing about this place is we do have more than enough doctors, probably. We have got a decent number of orderly types. We do seem to have a stupid number of legendary suturers, mind. Nominate a couple more people to be orderlies just in case that's helpful. I don't know if they actually bring food. Maybe I think everyone might be responsible for feeding injured dwarves, which may of course essentially mean that no one's responsible. So is someone going to like come and build anything anytime soon? Because it's going to be a bit tedious if they don't. Okay, well, one dwarf seems to have left the hospital already. That's probably good. Did have a kind of a plan to build a new dining room, didn't I? I can't remember where it was meant to be, though. Now, on general principles, how are we doing for refined coal? Lots of copper, but that's hardly surprising. The goblins keep leaving the stuff behind.
Is that in the form of weaponry and armour?
Yes. Right, okay, we have plenty of coke. I don't need to worry about the coal situation. Yeah, there's like stuff that needs building down here. People are apparently busy doing other things. You're apparently going to pick up some equipment, possibly because you're currently dressed solely in 2 bracelets and a glove. Yes, I recommend you wear more clothing than that, my dear militia captain.
This is very fashionable for dwarves.
It does feel pleasure after putting on an exceptional item. Now wearing 2 bracelets, a glove and a shirt. An exceptional shirt. Indeed. Admittedly, could like do with washing the beak dog blood off his feet. Oh, you didn't manage to get covered in water. That would have helped in like several ways. It would have got the beak dog blood off and cheered you up. Clearly, we need to make the mist generator wetter. It might be practical to arrange that it pours water over the entire width of the corridor. Not sure. Where are you going now? Oh, you found yourself another glove. Excellent. Were you cheered by that as well? I think so, yes. Now taking a complicated route. Oh, to pick up a sock from your bedroom. It's a cheering sock, though. It is a slightly worn cheering sock, but... And a second sock. Nice one. Now wearing 2 bracelets, 2 gloves, a shirt and 2 socks. Aha! Managed to get wet. Is that enough wet to wash off the blood? It is, good. No longer has feet covered in beak dog blood and was relieved at being near a waterfall.
Wait a minute, feet were covered in blood, so they put socks on first and then washed their feet.
Yes, dwarves.
Yes.
Trousers, not very good trousers, sadly. They're ex-goblin trousers made of troll fur. Hang on, if you're a militia captain, shouldn't you be wearing your armour while you're off duty? Or are you a militia captain in the Lardy Larks or something? No, you're in the Veiled Smiths. Why are you putting on all these clothes? You shouldn't be wearing these clothes, you should be wearing armour.
Are we out of armour?
Don't think so.
Are we out of armour that's not covered in goblin blood?
Like anyone would mind the goblin blood. Yeah, I don't quite know what's going on there. Still, let's see how the building work's going. Not at all. Oh, no, maybe someone has extended that by 1 square, given where they are. Oh no, they've just built that bit of staircase, which is less helpful. They've built that bit of floor. Now let's see if I can put in a some rollers here. Northwards, maximum speed. Yes, okay. So it looks like rollers that don't have anything next to them on the same level can't be built. But that's not a problem here because I've reduced the ascent rate a bit. Which probably actually means we don't need rollers on each level, but still, it'll be fine. Those ones want to push eastwards. And we'll put some here that push southwards. And some here that push westwards, which is almost certainly an extravagance, but right. That bit of track still isn't built. It's suspended, right? Probably because there's an object in the way that's scheduled for having something happen to it. But everyone's too busy to actually move the thing. Oh no, that end up with a cannot reach site. That's weird. I don't think there's any good reason why that site should be unreachable. Do I need to put in another bit of floor in order to make it easier to get at or something? So that staircase still isn't finished. Once the staircase is finished, I'll build a platform up there to construct a windmill on, and we'll see if it's powerful enough. Here we can see someone carrying a rope across the map, so they're clearly coming to build one of the rollers. Which is like nice. It suggests that jobs I schedule are actually likely to happen reasonably quickly, despite the number of bits of dead goblin around.
I just like the habit of rules of getting distracted and
Now they'll need to go back and find a mechanism, which will take a little while. Let's just check that isn't suspended. Nope, good. Have they started like filling up this minecart yet? No. Curious as to why that's not happening. When this one, I mean, it is admittedly empty at the moment, but certainly could be filled earlier. So someone is nominally at least operating that butcher's shop, though I think we have a problem that the butcher's shops have quite short ranges, so they can't actually butcher things all the way down here, or to, at least, yeah, like the butcher a corpse job doesn't work that far at that big a range. So possibly I want to reorganise the stockpiles to just surround the butcher's shops. Oops, I've accidentally set that to all refuse. That's a terrible idea. No, it should just contain, well, at best, corpses and body parts, which are the things that can actually be butchered. But actually, I probably want to reorganise those into, probably I should do it by repainting this stockpile, shouldn't I? rather than making new ones. So if I repaint it to a 5x5 rectangle around each thing, then unpaint the rest, then things will get shuffled into those bits, and it will then be a bit more obvious what's going on. Right, well, one of the rollers has been installed, and we've got that platform or that staircase there now. So now I could go like this and build a wooden platform there with a hole in the middle. And then we should be able to stick a windmill on top, which will be connected to that tower of gear assemblies. The gear assembly on the ground might be critical for holding everything else up. Are you building some track there? Yes. Hooray. That's nice. So the track is being slowly extended, though it's a rather slow process because you can only do it one square at a time. Building that kind of thing on the ground is obviously rather quicker. Still, it'll happen eventually. Well, we're apparently butchering one of the beak dogs right now. That's rotten, so it can be dumped. Oops, I've turned that off. Let's turn that back on so you can see the water depths. I think at least the dead dwarf from that bridge has now been disposed of. That hasn't managed to get suspended again yet, which is nice. Still extending the railway, good. Just checking how these various bits of construction are doing. Oh no, there is still a dead dwarf there. It's just underneath so many cats that we can't see it. Well, this bit of building work at least is going quite well. Admittedly, there's a lot of it to do, but the track out to the towards the rubbish dump is still being constructed. Oh, one thing I need to be concerned about though is that on the way back we can't just send the minecart back down those rollers, because of course the rollers will keep pushing upwards. So we need some way to lower minecarts down that spiral ramp safely. Which might require like a slightly ludicrous speed limiting system. Not to mention some means of diverting minecarts before they hit those rollers. Can we just construct another track on top of an existing one that goes in a different direction, I wonder? No, that's not right. I don't want a T-junction. That's fairly annoying. What I want is a corner. That might mean that we have to do something to ensure that this section doesn't collapse if I remove some of the track segments. I can mark that tooth for dumping, but like, I reckon nothing much is getting dumped at the moment anyway. Oh, we've got, oh no, that one's a standing order one, isn't it? We've got, nonetheless, we've got at least some automated butchery jobs going on. There are not enough people doing them even now. Do I need to increase the number of butchers again? I've got plenty of butchers allocated. Very few of them are any good at it, but like the only way they're going to learn is by practicing. What's that little stockpile there for? Tiny bar and block stockpile. Set to take any kinds of bars or... Oh, that was for clearing up the blocks from around here, wasn't it? I don't think that's necessary anymore. Let's delete it. I mean, it might have been good for clearing these ones out, but hey, we'll find a use for them eventually. You seem to be usefully butchering a thing, at least. Specifically, a beak dog. So, if we just put some extra bits of floor around here, they would then support that section. Except that, well, though it doesn't really matter where we put the diversion. suppose what I should check is how often that's getting close to 7. Seems to be running at, oh, it's hitting 6 already. We don't want it to get past 7 is the thing. Give it a little bit longer, let them fill it a little bit more. We do seem to be running both butcher's shops in parallel, which is good. We do still seem to have an unburied dwarf there. Aha, this dwarf is working on building these rollers. Just an interruption then. Let's resume that one. Resume that, though I'm not hopeful about that. Oh, another forgotten beast. The forgotten beast Ludom Edzum Slaz has come. A huge feathered ribbon worm. It has a knobby shell and it appears to be emaciated. Its cardinal feathers are fluffed out. Beware its deadly blood. Okay, well it's probably down in the caverns somewhere and we can ignore it. Okay, it's somewhere down here.
That's a good name.
Ludosm board splattered. It is bleeding because it's met another forgotten beast because the...
Yes, but it's got deadly blood, so when you make it bleed, that isn't necessarily an indication you're winning.
No, it's true. I think some other forgotten beast produces webs, which is
That's 100% alright.
dear, we need to make another thing. So yes, we can see them shooting webs at one another and wrestling, and the worm is dead. That didn't take long. I mean, like, it may now be terribly poisonous all around there. How is our child with a strange mood doing? I find the strange mood in this list. Was it a child? Yes. Oh dear, there's a thing you haven't got. You need cloth, thread, wood. What have you managed to acquire then? Everything. I mean, maybe the leather isn't all relevant. So obviously some of it is. Limonite, platinum bars and silk cloth. So let's wait for this to loop back round to the leather. Leather, stone, metal, cloth, raw green, that's presumably raw green glass. Do we not have any raw green glass at this point? Wouldn't be entirely surprised. We have got some. Where is it? It's somewhere weird. Does that make it inside the... It's in the trade depot. Okay, it might not be ours then. And there are no merchants to trade with, so if it's not ours, I don't quite understand whose it is. We have got a glass furnace though. We've probably got some sand. So we can try setting that going and seeing if anything good comes of it. Yeah, someone's trying to do it. Incidentally, the name Id Sunbridged the Pointy Handle is pretty good as well.
Yes.
So it presumably is now going off in search of some sand. But I think we do have some sand somewhere in the fortress. Has managed to avoid being cheered up by the waterfall. I think that waterfall is now full, so we should fix that. Or rather, stop trying to fill it. Right, so now have a bag of sand. Still manages to avoid being cheered by the waterfall. Is about to be upset by that miasma. I should do something about that miasma. Let's stop following that person around and try to find the rotten stuff that's causing trouble here. Guess it's like a pet's body or something. Why is that barrel forbidden? Unforbid that barrel, though I don't think it's our problem.
There's the pre-patch version, and then you go.
Ah, there we are. Rotten dog corpse. Dispose of that and things will get happier. How's our glassmaker getting on? Yes, did indeed get unhappy as a result of that miasma. Any good at glass making? I rather doubt it. Still, some glass, raw green glass has been made. I'll make a bit more. On grounds that way we'll have some spare for... okay, that's probably just miasma spreading for the dining room. No problem. So now our... child who has claimed the leather workshop, which I'm sure I can find, yes, has now set off to collect that raw green glass. we hope, eventually, if they can find a way down. So I found some more all green glass. Can now take it back up to their leather workshop. Okay, yes, if you want to name your axe, that's fine. Though it does tend to cause the goblins to turn up and ask if they can have it, please. And then refuse to take it away, so I have to fight them anyway. I should deal with that ghost, really, shouldn't I? But I want to watch. Now I'll watch this moody dwarf first. We can check that this actually happens. They're not short of any other ingredients. That looks good. I think this is the wood. And there will also be some gems, I think, were on the list as well. Microcline gizzard stones apparently are the correct kind of gem for this job. And now they set to work building things. Excellent, right. So we still have a miasma problem, but that's like subject to someone actually disposing of the dead dog. That one's still inactive. We still haven't got that floor up there. Is that one suspended again? Yes. Concerned about that. Similarly, that one. That seems to get a no access note, as though we need some floor next to it. Well, let's build some floor next to it then. Why is that fortified? I'm sure I didn't ask for that pillar to be fortified. Okay. Oh yes, about that ghost. Etur Udeshatir. Now, are you just the dead dwarf who's waiting to be buried from up here? Okay, there's a fairly stupid number of dwarf corpses here waiting to be buried. But not...
One of those the ghosts.
I don't think so, actually. Someone Udeshatir, which is not that one, and not that one. And the rest of this square appears to be an enormous pile of armour. Oh, no, that's an earring. At some point we want to drain the river, but not until we've... Not until we've got the rest of this construction transport system built. Right, we're getting the floor that will support the windmill built. So we did get another cancels construct building cannot reach site. Wonder which building that was. That one's suspended again. Well, we've got some floor next to it now. Maybe that makes it feasible. I mean, we need to remove a small number of objects from it, but it's not as though we're trying to build something on this square yet. Indeed, that's the end of the bridge, so we can't build anything on that square, but we would like to remove all the rubbish from it before we, like... Oh, is there a dead dwarf in this square? No. Well, maybe we just set up a memorial to be on the safe side. Eto Ude Chatier. We haven't got any rock to make anything out of at the moment. I have no dull stone. Just wondering what the state of our mines is while we're here. Let's just mine the remaining couple of squares of kaolinite from that cluster. Don't know if it's worth going after all the malachite. We don't really need malachite or galena. But fire agate's probably worth having some of. And there's more kaolinite on the next several levels if we need more. I bet there are more clusters. There's a cluster, albeit mostly occupied by the... Oh, that would be quite easy to reach actually from the drainage system. There's another one there. Yeah, we don't have much of a shortage of kaolinite yet. So, how is the construction of stuff going? Oh, here's someone coming to construct something, but it's probably something boring, like the... it's not... the floor up here is not that boring. Right, so I think we should now be able to safely remove some of this track without causing all of the track to collapse. And then we can construct a bend in the track for sending minecarts back in the correct direction. So we should safely be able to remove that section of floor without anything collapsing as a result. Right, 2 squares left to go before we can install the... Well done, Dusim Zephon Dwarven Child. You have created a giant Kia leather sandal. Note, 1 giant Kia leather sandal.
I mean, if there's a one-legged giant around, then...
No, it's a sandal made of giant Kia leather, not a giant sandal made of Kia leather. Its name is the Sweltering Fang. This is a giant Kia leather sandal or craft straw Craft's dwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with oval microcline cabochons, studded with platinum, decorated with single-cut green glass gems, and encircled with bands of giant Kia leather, giant hamster leather, and sandpear wood. This object is adorned with hanging rings of limonite and menaces with spikes of giant albatross leather and giant cave spider silk.
Neither of which makes a good spike.
No, well, it means they're not too dangerous. On the item, it was made by an 8-year-old. On the item is an image of a passion fruit vine in cave spider silk. So there.
Well, the next time somebody makes a single legendary footwear item, we can find out whether there's one left and one right, or
Yes, it doesn't appear to have a... I think shoes and socks in Dwarf Fortress don't have, as it were, handedness. But gloves and mittens do, I think. Gloves certainly do, and gauntlets and such. Someone did deal with this dead dog. Okay, this dog skeleton now, which has been there waiting to be thrown away for so long, all the flesh has rotted off it. Okay, we managed to get a floor construction suspended somewhere up here. Don't quite know how. Partly because I was too lazy to read the explanation. Right, that roller finally got built. Nothing surprising about that tooth. It should be able to be moved. Indeed, most of the other stuff that on that square has been removed. Right, now that space has now been opened, so now can we go... Yes, we can go like that, and thus arrange that a returning minecart, as long as it's not going stupidly fast, will be diverted over to here. And then we probably want to build some kind of downward ramp that bypasses the bypasses all the rollers. I mean, we could have the dwarves just guide the thing back, but it seems much more fun to have it automatic, or at least semi-automatic. But that would require putting in a wall on this level, somewhere that's a bit hard to get to. Possibly we can like construct a... Oh, maybe I have it divert that way and we do some kind of horribly interleaved... No, that doesn't quite work either. Well, we could try. I mean, that would make it... So if instead of that we do... that, and then that, then can we go like this and build a downward stair from here? I wonder. Don't know if that'll work. It's a bit random. That last bit of floor is nearly done. So then once that's done, we can do something, yes. Good, someone's having fun butchering more beak dogs because we need more food. No, we don't need more food. So it's still, that's got suspended again. I mean, I don't think there's anything stopping it being completed. Oh, I'm not quite sure how we merge. Maybe this has to have a separate bridge across the river. Simply because I can't work out how to get the tracks merged by the time we cross the river. Oh well. Come on, build the thing. Still, bid to extend this track is still going on, and I haven't managed to get the rest of it built yet, so they may yet win. So, just checking, yes, the hospital at least is empty, so that's good. Oh yes, I needed to get some rock, didn't I, to make slabs from. Because we have kind of run out of boring rock. I'm not sure I really have anywhere I need to mine out. So let's just take somewhere nearby. Like there, where like the space will probably be helpful. It's reasonably hard rock. Aha, that track finally got finished, good. So we've now got all of the tracks and rollers up that ramp done. There is like a gap here at the moment that needs to be filled in. I think that's happening right now. There we go. And of course we need that floor to be put in place and to put a windmill on top. And then there's still plenty more track to be constructed out there. Right, so now we need more of that staircase built. I don't know if it actually can be built at this stage, but we'll see. But to an extent, if I can get everything else done, the fact that the return route for the minecarts is a bit messy, like they just fall out of the sky, might not be too much of a problem. Where did that happen then? Oh right, there's like damp stone around here, is there? How annoying.
On Friday we can try to invite this up. You know, be careful.
Still, we can mine some more of that. All of that stuff is visible already. We know that's not damp. Right. Still waiting for that small patch of floor to be built. Cats in places they should not be.
That's normal for cats.
Oh, it looks like that staircase may be being constructed downwards, so that's good. So then,
It's a strange direction to construct a staircase that's up in there.
yes, but it's convenient. Now I'm going, how can I get this to descend nicely? If I put a downward ramp there, I suppose now I can probably safely actually deconstruct that and make that into a downward ramp with a bit of care. Yeah, let's do that, though it doesn't have to be done quickly. But we can then construct a bit of track. Maybe we can't. What? Surely we could construct a piece of track there, if nothing else. What happens if you try to construct a single square of track with nothing connected to it? We get a cannot find path. Alright, so I can do that. But actually what I want is, well, no, I can't build a wall on that level. So I have to build, I suppose, a floor here and then a wall here. I feel I should be able to do this by building track rather than wall, but rather than floor. But let's just accept whatever it is that we can do. There's an awful lot of body parts in these trees now. Aha, all the floor at the top's been built. Right, let's build a windmill up there.
Go and sleep. Much like a snooze day, it's a snooze. Takes you on Friday night.
So that bit of floor's been built. So now if we put in a wall here and a ramp here, that should work okay. Though admittedly we are like wasting wood here, I think. Now wondering if what I could do is to actually have the two the up and down ramps in the wrapped around the same helix. Oh gods, could I do that? Would that mean I've just built everything backwards? Let's do it like this at the moment because I've got enough space for this. And I won't confuse myself so much if I do this. Ha. Maybe I won't. All being well, someone will transport some rock up here. Some of that shale that we've been mining down below. And then we'll have then we can make that slab for the ghostly doctor. So let's see, that will then, we can't have that there be a downward ramp because that would then tangle up with that. Or rather more, yes, and so that then needs to be a section of horizontal track, which will then go around the corner to there. That can be a down ramp though. I think, can it? If that's horizontal, we then need a wall there. No, that can't be a down ramp either. So that has to be the down ramp. So that means we want to build a wall here. I'm running out of logs. Have we felled all the trees that are scheduled to be felled? No, okay. We just might have to pause for a bit to let's unforbid that cage trap. Because that's stopping it getting reloaded, which is unhelpful. And also unforbid the goblin cages, so that those can be stored somewhere more sensible. So a goblin cage and a beak dog cage. And another beak dog cage. We've got quite a lot of caged goblins now, it appears. They're a little hard to see because they don't get any priority over the teeth in the same square. Yes, it looks like all of our cage traps along here managed to catch something from the invading army. Not necessarily the thing I would have liked. Bet I can't build a floor there because it's unreachable. Yes. That's annoying because I would like to build a ramp there. Oh well. Let's do it like this. Right, the track construction is progressing slowly. I'm still slightly confused by the way this minecart isn't like getting filled with anything. But then neither's this minecart. It looks as though place object in minecart jobs are kind of bursty. It is set to all corpses, so it should be helpful. And presumably has a link to corpse stockpile 64, yes, which is this one. So yeah, I don't think there's anything stopping that one getting filled. Similarly, that's set to all corpses. And has linked to corpse stockpile 72. And no launch conditions because we don't yet have a railway for it. Apparently loose goblin corpses are being moved around, that's odd. Where are you going with that? Are you putting it in that left-hand stockpile? I suppose that's a reasonable plan, isn't it? Well, we now have that downward ramp functioning at least. So can I now go build track from, oops, no, not from there. No, no, from there, down to there, out to there, across to there. No, because we don't have enough logs available, apparently. Hello, my dear woodcutters. Could you come and cut some wood, please? I presume most of the wood is like allocated to building that long stretch of track. I could shorten it, I suppose, but that needs to be done anyway. I mean, that track needs to be built anyway. We do have 4 dwarves scheduled for wood cutting, several of them not meant to be doing anything much else. One issue, of course, is that we do have quite a lot of people in military training. I mean, for good reason. Just wondering if I should just randomly pick someone else as another woodcutter. Since apparently we don't have enough of them. Yeah, you can be a woodcutter. You're going to have to build things out of stone at this rate. Or even porcelain. Why is stone not being moved? Again, probably because everyone's busy doing other things. Is someone working on this windmill? It's hard to tell. There are jobs pending for putting plenty of corpses in tombs, just no one seems to be doing it. Some people are at least loading some cage traps, that's good. It's okay, the windmill job is still waiting. Sigh. Possibly because it needs a mechanic and they're a bit rare. Let's build some of the required track at least. There's still 4 logs required, and one of them's just managed to get used for something. Rather, 3 logs now required, because 4 logs are required and only 3 are now available. Stoats. Are you like randomly lugging a goblin corpse across things? Yes, you are. An experience which causes you to see an awful lot of dead goblins. Are you taking that tooth? Now you're making a bone bracelet, apparently. Well, I mean, we need to make more bone bracelets, probably. Plus, like, it helps with your practicing crafts. Even though you are currently only a dabbling bone carver, you'll get better at it. Possibly we already have enough giant blue jay bone bracelets. If no one's going to come and fell those trees, I'll start making things out of other materials. We do have an alarming number of gypsum blocks, for instance. Actually, that we can arrange to go downwards again, can't we? If we build some floor there. Then we can build a wall there and a ramp there, which would then mean we can destroy that ramp, but possibly not until after we've built it. And that floor, but probably not until after we've built that ramp. What I really want is for someone to come and build that windmill. And to bury some dwarves. It's our problem, like, actually, that we just don't have anyone assigned to do mechanics. Mechanics is currently set to everyone does this anyway. Which is a bit silly, but we do turn out, I think, as a result of establishing a guild hall for it, like years ago, now to have a stupid number of mechanics anyway. But we're set to everyone, so there's no excuse for any of them not doing it, assuming that building a windmill is a mechanic's job and not a carpentry job, I suppose. Temporarily set carpentry to everyone does this and see if we get more people working on it. So is anyone working on the track extension? It doesn't look like it, which is kind of weird. Someone's working on some bits at least. It's rock blocks are a bit heavier than logs, so it's kind of a bit of an effort to lug them around. This for remembering a soapy bath. Right, we've got that ramp there now, which I think means we don't need that floor. No, actually, let's build the track down there first. We've got that there, which means we can build that wall there. And indeed a ramp on that square. So then we could extend this track from there to there to there and fake. No, actually we don't. Then we cancel that square, and actually we don't cancel that one. Right. And once that track's built, then I'll feel comfortable demolishing that. If we put a wall in there, that will then allow us to build a ramp on that square, at least if we put in a floor for that. Snooze, right. Assume that butchery task will get cancelled pretty soon, and it will thus turn out that there is nothing near enough by to be butchered. That track has now been built, so now I can demolish the floor just to the south of it without fear of making it unbuildable. Oh, so windmill has been built while I wasn't looking. Are we by any chance horribly overloaded? Yes, actually not horribly overloaded, but marginally overloaded. How annoying. So we're now going to need to construct, since we don't seem to be able to build that water wheel at the bottom, a situation that I still don't understand. Well, let's have another go at constructing a bit of floor there and seeing if that makes... Because while obviously completely bridging the river is dangerous, one might hope that if there's anything that's... Oh, what? That water wheel's constructed, is it? Yes. Okay. I think someone suddenly discovered the ability to do mechanics. So we now have a water wheel there. And an entire system that still requires more power than is available, despite a water wheel and a windmill. Well, we can try to build another water wheel. Right, that's listed as no access. If we build a bit of floor there, why wasn't I prompted for the material to use for that? Or even, didn't even seem to get a message saying that it was going to be done with the material I'd already chosen. Dwarves have suspended construction of the track east-west. Resume. Right, so that's now been removed. That then means once that's been built, well, we can build a bit more track, can't we? Go from there to there. It's not very helpful. No, I want that square to be built at least. How have I set it up on that one? It says butcher 10 if there are more than 10 nearby, which is surely a surprisingly satisfied condition, which suggests the range is quite generous. Let's just do the same thing here then. Though we probably want to turn down that threshold, but let's see what that does. Because like full auto butchery doesn't appear to be working very well. Right, both bits of floor there are now built, so now we can construct a ramp there. Then we'll remove that floor. Okay, we'll have to build that floor before we can build the wall next to it. So I don't suppose I can build another second water wheel with the tiny amount of access I now have. No. Also, like, we've run out of logs, haven't we? Someone felled some trees. Or I'm going to have to start dismantling bits of roller coaster just to get some spare wood. Actually, I don't have to dismantle it. I can just cancel building this section out here. Which will free up a bit of wood. Right, let's free up... Well, actually, let's go build... water wheel. Can I now build a water wheel here? No access to 3 logs. Right. So now if I... cancel that track construction. I can now try to construct another water wheel there. Then I think we just have to accept that this track is now going to need to be made out of blocks. And like, we've got a phenomenal number of gypsum blocks available. So let's just make it all out of gypsum blocks. Now we can demolish the floor that we built there. Put in a wall there. Oops. Where? There. Oh, and a ramp on the square next to it. Slightly silly that we're making stuff out of gypsum, which is like actually a useful material, but someone's gone and converted a huge amount of it into blocks, which we can't then convert back into plaster, so whatever. So then the question is, what do we do with the track now that it's down here? Because someone's gone and laid things out such that we can't just squirt the minecart back across the same bridge. So that might mean I have to build a second bridge. in parallel with the first one that can be used for sending things back. But first we probably need to slow down the descending minecarts a bit. Because they will probably be going quite terrifyingly fast. Oh good, gypsum block tracks turn out the same colour as apricot wood tracks. I wonder if I accidentally managed to somehow forbid the trees on this side. Because it's weird that no one's come to cut any of them down yet. Just as an experiment, let's try to cut one down on this side of the river. Because I don't think I've been systematically forbidding objects on this side of the river. Some of them may have ended up forbidden anyway, but not a systematic forbidding. I think if I'm going to do that, I should systematically unforbid some of these trap squares. In part just so that the traps can be maintained. I don't know if they need it. On the other hand, the number of objects there is stupid, isn't it? That's just going to cause immense amounts of hauling. No, no, stop that, stop that. Might be fun, but oh, it's another end of year. Right, heave. So, yes, we still haven't managed. Oh, that looks like that second water wheel has been constructed, though. Maybe now we've got enough power to run the rollers. Then we could try sending an empty minecart, since no one seems to want to fill it, through this system and seeing what happens. Hang on, the power needed is going... Thank you, we've got some tribute apparently. Oh, and I think a bunch of animals have just reached their age limit, which they do on the... animals have Korean age apparently. They age by a year at the start of the year and immediately drop dead. Okay, I think these water wheels are not functioning because the load increases each time I add a water wheel. That's not how it's meant to work. I think the river isn't working right. Right, I'm going to remove these water wheels. Let's remove them in the correct order. Because they are doing zero good. Indeed, they are harmful. Now, we might thus need a second windmill, but let's see how much we can dismantle. Maybe if we're lucky, the rollers provide support. Yes, they do. So I think we can actually safely take out that gear assembly as well. But we'll do it bit by bit, first removing that water wheel. Right, we've now got some shale hauled up here so we can make a slab out of it. And then we can engrave a memorial to whoever our current ghost is. Let's look them up. Eto Udeshatir. Right. I think I've accidentally allowed for moving some goblin weapons around, which I shouldn't have. So is there a demolish building task pending somewhere in this lot? Yes, though no one's working on it yet. This is all rather busy. Okay, we probably have a report about, no, wrong button, about some tribute. Nothing very exciting. Really, that's fairly terrible actually. Oh well. Just dump that rabbit corpse. You're quite old, you probably want butchering. I'm not sure it's helpful to slaughter old cats, but they are kind of lying around and quite old. Someone is making a rock slab. Good. So all of those ramps down to there have been built now. So now we can probably lay some track on them. Like that. Ghost is floating through the air 1 Z level above the ground, which is probably sensible, really. I mean, if you could, you would, wouldn't you? Mormazavra's Lula is slipping into depression again. Still a lot of track to be built out here, but here's someone coming out to build another segment of it. It's just there's a lot. Yeah, that's not very vile. I mean, I should probably raise that drawbridge while I remember. Does that lever do anything? No, it's kind of spare. I mean, I would raise the drawbridge that I've just constructed, but it does have an awful lot of stuff on it. It's going to make a right mess if I raise that bridge, if I remove that bridge. Oh well, let's do it and see what a mess it makes. Because we do have a notional vile force of darkness here. Already a rather uneasy goblin, seeing lots of dead goblins around. Oh, starting to shoot at people though. We should probably like summon some military boss names, shouldn't we? Here is our bold goblin adventurer. Oh, they've got themselves onto the bridge briefly. Ah, but the bridge has been raised. Right, yes. Indeed, we can see a bunch of objects, I think currently in mid-air, just being hurled off the bridge. Or possibly that are just hovering in mid-air. That's not quite what they're meant to do, you know. Anyway, here we have what appears to be an airborne surgeon. Well, that goblin crossbowman does not seem to be in a good state. Or indeed alive. So I think an unarmed surgeon has met these goblins and may currently be winning. Okay, that's turning out to be quite bad for the surgeon. I think we need to get our military dwarves out here fairly soon. Also, we apparently have 4 separate goblin thieves, one of whom already seems to be quite unhappy. Yes. But I'm a bit scared of what's going on there. Yes, sadly a dwarf has died as a result of getting unarmed into a fight with a goblin. Not quite sure where the goblins are, mind. Well, there was one apparently. Just launched an arrow across the river. Oh yes, here. Ah, but someone's turning up with a weapon. And our incoming... Oh, you're skilled bowman, so you might be all right. Or maybe not. I think you can stop now, you know. It's just still a nominal siege active. Yes, we do still have a couple of terrified goblins here. Mostly, it would appear, shooting at the livestock. Like they are. likely to run into some patrolling dwarves soon. We don't really mind losing livestock, we've got plenty. So you're the militia captain of the Veiled Smiths. I don't really want to send you across the river then. That's a pity, because you're doing a pretty decent job of killing goblins. Oh right, a bunch of dwarves have turned up now. That should solve the problem. Right, siege is now officially over. Let's just check if we know of the existence of any attackers. Looks like we don't. Any goblin thieves rather, so we can release the military dwarves to go back and do whatever they want. It was a nice short-lived siege. You should probably now lower the new bridge again. Right. Re-enabled some construction, which is probably mostly got suspended because people noticed goblins around. Curiously, demolition can't be suspended. Not that anyone's actually doing it, but come on, do some more building. So I don't quite know why there's a couple of squares here with objects in them that are not falling. It's probably one of those things that'll fix itself when I save and reload. I think there are some things like paying attention to gravity that generally happen like that. So, sorry, I haven't been saying very much, not least because things are mostly persistently not happening. Looks like a bunch of people managed to get injured in that incident, despite the small number of goblins involved. Well, I mean, being unconscious means you're probably not going to be worried about the ghost haunting the hospital. Oh dear, are we running out of empty cages? That's a bit embarrassing. Seem to have a lot of M's nervous tissue, one way or another. Right, marked a bunch of stuff for disposal that needs disposing. Still waiting for that water wheel to be demolished. We are actually going to need to do something about this because there's like a dwarf corpse there that wants proper disposal. And I suspect it's not currently reachable. I presume marking it as forbidden won't cause it to fall, no. Okay, apparently I can try to build a bit of floor out to there, so let's try doing that and see what happens. Don't quite understand why that minecart isn't being filled with goblin bits, but then neither's this one, so... Oh, it is now, good. It might take a bit longer, but maybe that minecart will... What? Sorry, I've just noticed the time. Somehow about an hour has passed while I wasn't paying attention. What are you carrying? Got a random piece of alpaca wool cloth. Excellent. You can use that for dressing wounds. Yes, apparently it's 20 past midnight, so I think that says that I should stop paying attention to this, where we still haven't got the railways built, but we are building more bits of them. And to go to bed. Just going to have a quick look around and see what's inappropriately suspended or what have you. That all looks good. I hope that by building that bit of floor we can retrieve those objects. Oh dear, we have an entire goblin skeleton stuck in the system for macerating goblins. Oh well, it'll probably get dealt with eventually. I noticed that the that we used to have 2 body parts up here and now we only have 1. So like, we can hope that something will happen. Oh, what now? Oh, right, it's an elven caravan. Well, let's investigate the elven caravan next time. For now, it would appear to be quite late. And so I think I should go to bed. So I will say good night. Good night.